Okay, are you ready for the exciting conclusion of Down Girl and Sit on the Road by Lucy Nolan? Let's see what happens here. This book is read by permission of Marshall Cavendish Children's Publishing. Chapter 4. I have to look at my table of contents, and I see it's on page 38. Chapter 4. The Lady in the White Coat. I love riding in cars, but I am not foolish. There are times when a dog should never get into a car. A dog should never get into her car when her master tries too hard to get her in there. It can only end in misery. Let me tell you what happened this morning. I was outside chasing Here Kitty Kitty since he had touched my stuff. Well, I wasn't exactly chasing him because he wasn't running. He was sitting on the roof of my shed, licking his paws. So I was just running around the shed, doing all my chasing without him. Sit barked from the other side of the fence. Just then, Roof called me into the house. I could tell he wanted to go somewhere. Ha ha, I told Sit. Here Kitty Kitty might get into my yard, but he'll never get into my car. I ran inside. I couldn't wait to see where Roof was going to take me. Roof was pretending it wasn't important if I went with him or not. That was a bad sign. I ran under the bed. Roof tried to take me out from under there. That didn't work. Roof left me alone. He thought I'd forget about it and come out. He sat in the other room and hummed while he read the newspaper. That didn't work. Roof dropped a donut near the bed. He wanted me to think it was an accident. Did he really think I was going to fall for that? Did he really think I'd come out for a donut? I came out for the donut. You never know. It could have been an accident. Roof grabbed my collar. He snapped on the leash. Okay, so he got me out from under the bed. That didn't mean I had to get into the car. Okay, so Roof is bigger than I am. Maybe I did have to get into the car. Roof talked nicely to me, but I knew where the car was going. We were heading down the scary road. I knew exactly where that road went. Roof rolled down my window a little way, but I didn't stick my head out. I was not in the mood. Roof pulled up in front of the building. I knew it! This was the house where the lady in the white coat lived. There was another person who lived there too. I don't like to say his name out loud. He lived in the room. I decided to escape through the window. It could have worked too if the window had been bigger. Instead, I had to wait for Roof to come unstick my head. Roof and I walked into the waiting room. Roof sat down. I jumped on his lap. Down, girl. I'm sure he meant to hug me, but he accidentally pushed me off. Twice. There was a terrier next to me. I sniffed him. The terrier sniffed me back. We were having a delightful time. I almost forgot why I was there. I even wagged my tail. I couldn't help it. Everything was fine until the hall door opened. I dove under the chair and shook. But it was not my turn. It was the terrier's turn. The terrier's master tugged on his leash. The terrier didn't want to go. He tried to dig in his heels, but the lady in the white coat has very slick floors. The terrier slid across the room and through the doorway. It was very embarrassing to watch. Now Roof and I were alone. All I could do was stare at the closed door. Roof tried to talk me into coming out from under the chair. When will he ever learn? That didn't work this morning, and it wasn't going to work now. But it did work this morning. Suddenly, the hall door opened. Roof lifted the chair and tugged on the leash. I slid across the floor. I knew I looked silly. I told myself, stand up and walk. You can be brave. Oh, who was I kidding? I slid all the way out of the room and down the hall. When we came to the door of the room. I shook all over, but we slid on past. Whew. A door down the hall opened. We slid inside. The lady in the white coat was waiting. Roof lifted me up on a cold table. I waited for the lady in the white coat to yell at him. She never did. I don't understand. If I so much as put my nose on the table at home, I get yelled at. I don't know why Roof likes visiting the lady in the white coat. She has no manners. She looked in my eyes. She looked in my ears. She looked at my teeth. I wonder how she would like it if somebody did that to her. Then she stuck me. I yelped. Yes, I did. She reached for the cookie jar. Did she think that I was going to take a cookie after what she just did to me? Well, okay, I took the cookie. She clipped my toenails. It didn't hurt, but I yelped anyway. She gave me another cookie. Maybe that's why Roof comes. Maybe he keeps thinking that one day he'll get a cookie too. Well, if he wants to get a cookie, he needs to learn how to yelp. Finally, it was over. There was nothing more to worry about. Roof and I went back to the waiting room. There was a German Shepherd. He was shaking. There was a St. Bernard. He was hiding under a chair. There was something in a box making pitiful sounds. I rolled my eyes. Come on, guys. Snap out of it. Oh, he's all brave now. Just then, the door behind me opened. The St. Bernard tried to jump onto his master's lap. It was embarrassing. All that fuss over the lady in the white coat. But it wasn't her. It was him. It was the man with the clippers. He had somehow gotten out of the room. He had the terrier, or what was left of the terrier. I tried to run for the door, but the St. Bernard was blocking the way. I ran to the corner. I hid behind the box that was making the awful sounds. I watched the German Shepherd slowly slide out of the room. I was sure nothing could make me happy again. I was wrong. I looked inside the box. Something hissed at me. It was Here Kitty Kitty. I barked. He scratched my nose. I didn't care. Today I had faced danger and lived to tell about it, and on top of that, I was free to leave now. Here Kitty Kitty had to stay. Roof and I got into the car and drove away. Ha ha! I have a car. All Here Kitty Kitty has to ride around in is a silly little box. I couldn't wait to tell Sit. I stuck my head out the window and laughed. A bug flew into my mouth. I didn't mind. In fact, it was kind of tasty. I watched the road in front of us and wagged. Here's the funny thing about roads. It doesn't matter how scary they are. If you turn your car around and follow them in the other direction, they'll always take you home. That was the end of Down Girl and Sit on the Road. Now we have, I think, 4 or 5 other Down Girl and Sit books. So if you enjoy reading a story that's a little bit silly, told from a dog's perspective, be sure and look for those. Those will be on the shelf at FIC NOL for Nolan. FIC NOL. So that's in our regular chapter books, alphabetically under NOL. I hope you guys enjoy this new series.